Welcome, everybody, to episode 83 of Disney with the Ducks. Tonight, you've got me, John Kral, along with some of the favorite members of our flock. We've got Jody B,
Hi, friends.
Jeff,
Hi, friends.
Lonnie G, who's all about
Hey.
D23,
All about it. Hey, everybody.
and Kevin.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
All right. Well, a happy Sunday evening, everybody. One thing we want to mention before we really get going is we want to make sure everybody's going out and giving us 5-star reviews. So if you get a chance, please go out to your podcatcher, go out there, give us a review, write something fun up, and we'll read it on a future episode. But what that does is really just helps other people find us. So it can help us kind of grow our community a little bit, help us reach some more people. And if you don't like what you hear, then still go give us a 5-star review and tell your friends we're amazing because you love us as people. So that would really, really help us out. But also, before we get going, we want to get to know each other a little bit better. And one of the things we were talking about before the show starts is what types of things have you collected? We're talking like non-Disney stuff, because I know we all have, I have Disney artwork behind us. I know Kevin usually has some Star Wars stuff around. Lonnie's got all his medals. Jody and Jeff have all their Disney stuff. But besides Disney, what has been one of the things in your life that you've really loved collecting? Kevin, what about you? I think you probably have a lot.
Yeah, I collect a lot of things. And Star Wars, of course, that's Disney. I won't go into that. But something non-Disney is Transformers. So it's something that I've collected since I was a kid. I have a pretty good collection of the Generation 1 action figures, and I have a case that I keep them in. And so I've, over the years, some that I've lost or broken, I've replaced and actually found parts to fix them. And it's pretty cool because you can, especially with 3D printers today, you can find parts of missing figures and actually reassemble them. Most of the toys today, when they break, they're broken for good. But the original Transformers, you can actually fix them with a screwdriver, and it's pretty good. So I've collected most of Generation 1. I've got a couple more that I'm looking for, but for the most part, I've collected the whole series of G1.
You're right about fixing the old toys. How many G.I. Joes did you fix with rubber bands and a screwdriver when you were little?
All of them.
Yeah.
Right? The rubber bands were snapped when they break them apart.
Or they'd just be missing a limb and you'd still play with them.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Now my kids, one little thing breaks, like, oh,
well, that's battle damage back there. Your guy stepped on a landmine. He's only got one leg.
yeah.
You just got to live with it, right?
Right. You just change the story when you're playing.
So Kevin, how do you find these? Like, if you know there's one you want, do you go on like eBay or do you go to trade shows?
So
toy shows?
If you go on eBay and you try to find one that's complete and fixed and everything, you're going to pay an arm and a leg, literally. Maybe a G.I. Joe arm and a leg. But what I've typically done is I'll find some broken ones, and I'll find another broken one where it has the right arm and the other one has the left arm, and I'll take two broken ones and take them apart and reassemble them into a complete figure.
Oh, that's really cool. So it's almost like a fun hobby of rebuilding them.
Right.
Like you're rebuilding
so I kind of hodgepodge pieces and parts together and, look up. There's some really good resources online that talk about, what parts came with each one, because the first thing you lose is all the little weapons and stuff that come with them. And so people have put together some pretty good resources online to be able to find, okay, what came with this character? And so being able to find those and even 3D print them if you can't find it anywhere else. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds
you sound like Sid on the original Toy Story, taking toys apart and redoing them. I'm
more like the old guy in Toy Story 2, I guess.
Oh yeah, the Al's Toy Barn.
Yeah, maybe not like that guy, the guy that actually fixed the toys.
Oh, with the sewing. The needle and thread. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
All right, Lonnie, what about you? What have you collected?
Well, my first thoughts is but I guess would Black Panther would that be Disney?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we'll go with that. So I do actually, collect other movie memorabilia besides Black Panther. Black Panther is like the main thing, and I've been like scouring the earth, kind of like Kevin, to put my. Well, I'm not doing scouring as much as I'm scouring the internet. I'm not walking there like Can and Kung Fu or anything, but I'll be doing that to try to find some stuff. And usually, if I like a movie, I'll find some other things, either a poster for it or some figures or something like that,
Or
that
a
you can order,
blanket, Lonnie, or
a blanket. Jody, I was going to say that, but it's a Black Panther blanket that Jody helped me get. So I can't say Marvel, I guess, but so yeah, any really good movie I like, I'll buy some figures for it and just have them on my shelf.
That's cool. Do you have like an area in your house where you display everything? Like
I
one
do.
place? Okay.
I do. I walk in and I was like, I take a deep breath in and I was like,
I know the feeling.
I'm home.
Then you're surrounded by your
all
things.
my stuff. I shut the door. My wife doesn't go in there. It's kind of like my area.
Nice.
Mhm.
All right. Jeff, what about you? What are you collecting?
I don't collect hardly anything anymore. I'm kind of in the process just minimalizing things, getting rid of things more so than collecting. I'd rather have memories and do things than have things. So, but growing up, I collected a lot of baseball cards and basketball cards, football cards. I had a whole bunch of those. I remember my biggest collection of those was the 1992 hoop set.
Nice.
I built that just from individual packs, and it took forever to just buy and pack.
Wow.
Just
Individual packs. You built the whole set.
I had all of the first series and most of the second series.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Well, packs
That's
were
really
like 50
cool.
cents a pack for like 10 or 12 cards back then. So you can get a couple packs a week, and it wasn't like you're breaking the bank on it. But
that baseball cards was the funnest thing, or sports cards, I guess, in general.
Right.
Yeah. I remember me and my buddies used to sit around with like the Beckett books and trade cards and be like, all right, well, that one's worth $10 and I got this Cal Ripken card that's worth 12. You need to throw something else in. And we did that all day, every day. It was the best. Man, and then I lost my baseball cards somewhere in moves from college to home to it's a real bummer. All right, well, that's fun. Jody, what about you? What have you collected?
I don't really collect a lot. I collect a lot of recipes, and I have way too many. I'm always looking for new recipes and printing them, or I've got this app that I save them on, or a file on my computer or on my phone. It's kind of ridiculous because we like to cook, and no, I like to cook and they like to eat. So a lot of recipes, I guess, and I'd say we collect wine, but we don't really collect.
I was going
to consume it.
I've
So
been to your house and you have an entire room dedicated to wine.
we do have an entire
I've never
room
seen so many wine bottles outside of a store in my life. And like each one, it seemed like you knew like where it came from and why you had it. And
Yes, it used to be much better of a collection pre-COVID, and then we made a big dent in it, and it's not been as much of a collection anymore as it has been a consumption. So it really hasn't gotten back to the pre-COVID era of stock as it was. So, but yeah, there some of those are collection. So yeah, you're right.
That's immediately what I thought of when Lonnie asked this question earlier. I was like, I just thought of your wine collection. I'm like, because I'm so envious of it. Because I used to have a pretty good beer collection that was like from trading and all that kind of stuff. And then right before I found out I had celiac disease, so I was like, all right, well, I have to drink all of these beers that I've collected over years, and some of them are like stouts that you want to age and that kind of stuff, are really hard to get stuff that I've traded for or bought for ridiculous amounts of
Pliny the
money.
Elder.
Yeah, Pliny and stuff from like Treehouse out in Massachusetts, and all like I had like the whole Goose Island series back to some, or the Bourbon County brand stout from Goose Island back to like some ridiculous number of years. And so I had myself a really good time there for a couple of months as I was working my way through this.
But if you already got celiac, didn't it still hurt you doing it?
No. So, okay. So like basically, I mean, long story short, like your body doesn't start to heal until you stop consuming gluten. And until that point, it's just status quo, right? Like I always had a stomach ache no matter what, because I was eating gluten, I was drinking beer, whatever. So I was always bloated and upset and whatever. So between the time when like my doctor said, I think you have this, we need to get an endoscopy done to confirm it, to when that endoscopy actually got done was about a month and a half. And I blew through a ridiculous amount of rare beers. And each one, but it was like Jody with your wine though, like I knew exactly where I got each bottle, why I had it, why I held on to it instead of drinking it right away like I did with some other ones. Because like beers don't age like wine does, but some of them do. So yeah. But I think when I was in high school and college, my big thing was collecting music. Like, you know, I wasn't into records 'cause I didn't have a record player, so it's not quite the same as like some of those guys that collect vinyl. But for me, it was CDs and like trying to find rare recordings and all that kind of
Napster
stuff.
files.
Napster.
Yeah, Napster, LimeWire.
Yeah.
Once Napster got tracked down on, but no, that was my thing. I had probably thousands of CDs. Like I loved music my whole life. I played it. I listened to it. I went to concerts, so that was my thing. And like I would organize them and then reorganize them multiple times a year. Like sometimes it would be by who the band was. Sometimes it would be like a member of the band. Sometimes it would be by chronological order of, okay, I started listening to Dave Matthews, then I started listening to OAR. So yeah, so that was one of the joys of my life, I think. And where I think kids really lose it, and this is going way off topic, but the kids these days, they don't listen to an album the way an artist wanted them to, from song 1 to 12. You
There's
listen
no
to that
side
one
B.
single. It's terrible. Like, oh, hey Siri, play blah blah blah, and you don't hear the rest of the album like you're supposed to. So, and my iPad just
These darn kids these days.
Get off my
Right.
lawn.
They don't understand what the world was like when we're
They don't.
in a better
They
place.
just don't.
Yeah.
They
Darn
never know
kids.
that hidden track on the CD.
Right. Because they don't listen to it and let that 10 minutes of dead air play
Right.
after the last track. Oh man. All right. Well, as much as I could sit here and talk about our random collections pretty much all night, we do have to get to our topic today. So this weekend was a big weekend. There was D23, and the Disney Parks blog had announcement after announcement of cool things that are going to be happening in the parks. Some of them are still kind of that blue sky thing that they announced last year, where they don't really have much of a plan. It's more of just an idea, throw it at the wall, see what sticks. And they didn't have development being done on it currently, but they're trying to think of, work with the Imagineers and get things going. But there were some things that are coming up that have dates even as early as the 10th, which is, as we're recording it, today. So we want to walk through some of those updates for everybody and kind of just let everybody know what's going on and what our thoughts are on it, because anybody can Google D23 September 2023 and see what's out there, but not everybody can get the unique take of the Ducks. So that's what we're here to give you tonight. So let's start. I mean, really, I kind of organize my notes by park. So let's go through by park, and then if I'm missing anything, we can kind of fill it in as before we move on to the next park. But where I was thinking about starting is Animal Kingdom. I love Animal Kingdom, but they have the Dino Land area, and it really, it needs something there now. And it sounds like they're developing something really cool. The Tropical Americas, with possible experiences inspired by Encanto and Indiana Jones. One of those I'm really excited about. The other one, I've heard the soundtrack 27,000 times, and I don't really ever need to see it again. But man, if you can get some Harrison Ford in the park, I'm all for it. Like, so what do you guys think about Dino Land, or how they can reimagine that area?
I think Gene should be brought on as a consultant for this.
South America.
Right. This was his thing earlier last year that just kind of took off.
It really was.
Yeah, the Tropical Americas.
I think it actually fits really good. You got Asia, you have Africa. There's really nothing dedicated to South America anywhere in any of the parks. And I think this Encanto, like you said, the music's been played a lot, but we'll see how that ages. I don't know if it's timeless like some of the other stuff is. The dinosaur ride can easily be adapted to Indiana Jones. It's the same ride in California. You just got to update the details and stuff to it. I think the theming works there. I'm excited. I think it really could fit in nicely with everything there.
Really excited too. And we did an episode a while back on D23, and the announcements for Disney World were almost zero. So it was nice to finally get some good knowledge and some good things, some plans, even if they're blue sky, just to hear kind of what they're expecting for the park. So that was really good. I think Indiana Jones will bring a lot of people to Animal Kingdom, more than just having a stunt show, having something there. I think that franchise is so popular. I mean, it'll open all kinds of doors for Animal Kingdom. I mean, I'm really excited about that.
And I think that land over in Dino Land, it's a lot of space. I mean, I'd love to know how much acreage is over there, but there are lots of times when we go to Animal Kingdom, we don't even bother going over there because all that's left over there right now is the dinosaur ride. But there's all that land. You know, they took down Primeval World. I mean, there's just a lot of space over there. So I think it could be easily reimagined. They could add some things. I feel like Animal Kingdom needs a little love. Pandora's fantastic and I love it, but they really haven't touched it since Pandora. And, you know, Epcot's been under construction for 972 years. And to be perfectly frank, I don't feel like we're getting a lot for what they've done for the construction. So I think they could kind of go all in on Animal Kingdom. I think it needs it. I think it needs a facelift. And I think they've got the land and the space to do it and to get some things done over there.
And that's the place where they can work on stuff the whole time and not affect the rest of the park. I mean, that's just set off to the side. It's not like walking through Epcot where you're detoured every which way to get to the World Showcase. I mean, you can easily bypass that whole area and just let them work and not worry about it.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, you made the point in regards to them saying blue sky. And I know, one thing about D23, and I was excited to watch it. And but they followed everything up with, this is what we're thinking about. And this is the possibility. And I think if you're going to put something like that, say, hey, look, we're moved from blue sky to now, look, we're in the planning stages. The thing about Dino Land, number one, it has the best popcorn. I'm just going to say it right there. That little booth right there always has the best popcorn. It's always hot. There's a nice little store over there that's right past, as you're going around the corner. That's a cool little store. The issue I think we'll have with, and I'm all for it. I would love to have Indiana Jones. I would love to have Encanto because I think Encanto is one of those things that it can last a while, right? Depending on what you do there in the park. I think it has it represents a really unique portion of the world that we don't have anything else to really, represent it like we do right now. This is the thing. We run past that for the marathon as well. So they'll have to reroute the marathon because we go right through that road. That's where they'll be doing construction. So I wonder how that will impact. Do we go back to, Wide World Sports? I don't know. I'm sure they're going to have to think about that. And that's something they're going to have to really, really ponder because that's a major part if you're going to do Dopey or any marathon.
That's true.
Yeah, I think they could easily reroute us, though. I think for one day of the year to not do a whole project, I think they'll be like, hey, go touch the Tree of Life and turn around and run back. And that could be your run through Animal Kingdom.
High school gym class.
Yeah. I mean, there are parts that we
go through Pandora.
We run back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
One of the races we did go through Pandora. Maybe it was Wine and Dine. I don't know. But I don't think canceling a whole project for one race weekend, because we only run through there in the full marathon is going to be an issue. So,
but I don't think they would cancel it. I just think of how they would reroute it. I mean, they're going to do the races aren't going anywhere. My question is how they're going to do it because, that's the way we run out the park as well. Right. So,
exactly.
I don't want them to change that we run past Everest because, hey, Jody just rode it for the first time. She got to do it next year when we all run Dopey. Right, John?
Yeah.
Right,
2025.
Right, Jeff?
Not happening, guys.
2025.
Yeah. No Dopey here probably, but marathon.
Okay. That's what we're going with.
That's what I mean. I'm sure there's gonna be arm twisting for the next 18 months or whatever, however far it is, but that's fine.
I'll ramp up my arm twisting about a month before registration. So okay.
I do think though, Lonnie, you make a good point.
Just start sending him bourbon. That's something he gets now.
It's the way to my heart is directly through my liver. But no, Lonnie, you made a good point about Encanto, where there's not a lot of representation for Central and South America at all in the parks. And I do think that'll fit in thematically with the rest of the park much better than Dino Land and like the whole carnival thing they had going on and everything else. So I'm really excited about this. All right. I don't think there was anything else mentioned for Animal Kingdom really that I remember from the announcements. No. Okay. So let's talk about Hollywood Studios next. Another one. There wasn't a whole lot for Hollywood Studios. I was hoping for the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster retheming to something like. Well, I was going to say the Foo Fighters, but yeah, I mean Muppets. Sure. The Muppets are in a hurry to get somewhere. I don't know where they're going, but they're going. Maybe Animal and his band, you know. Okay, so the change at Hollywood Studios though is pretty cool. They're bringing Ashoka into Star Tours, and that's actually supposed to start next spring. So I think Star Tours is a really fun ride, but Jeff doesn't like it because of the motion sickness. Yeah, that'll do it. But no, having Ashoka come in would be really cool. Kevin, I think this is something that probably had to excite you, right?
Oh, I'm to see how they're going to bring it in and what they're going to do. Whether they're going to take, bits from the series that is still ongoing. We're about to the midway point right now. If they're going to try to bring some of those worlds in to the ride, or if they're going to maybe visit the Jedi Temple that Luke is building. I mean, there's a bunch of things they could do with Ahsoka. I mean, so much content from Clone Wars. It's just whether I'm guessing they're going to bring in the live action version because everything else is live action. So I'm curious to see what that's going to look like. And did they give a date of when that's going to happen?
They said next spring,
Okay.
but there was no specific date. So I mean, really, could be
Yeah.
anywhere until whatever end of June before they really bring it in. So yeah, but at least that one though is another one of those ones. At least they had some type of timeline, right, and a little bit of
Yeah.
specifics. So it sounds like that's something that's got to be already in development with the Imagineers and trying to pull that together. So
They seem to update that ride quite a bit, though. I mean, it's not uncommon for them to add new scenes and new destinations. And from what I hear,
Yeah,
I haven't
a
been
lot.
on it in about 6 years, and that I'll still never see anything that's on there. I can't ride that one at all. But it is something that tends to update more than regularly than other stuff.
yeah, and I think it's a
Also,
fairly easy update, right? Like I mean,
it's
they
pretty
put
easy,
the scenes
yeah.
in, and then you reprogram how it.
Especially because they don't really have to get that precise with the programming. I mean, they can just get it as long as it's close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
You're right.
and the cool thing is the wait time is really not usually that long, and I think they're still doing this, but for a long time they were doing, depending on which one you got on, it was a different scene. So I would try to ride and see all the different scenes. And one time I was able to see, I think, all of them. I mean, it's kind of random, I think, but just depends on which car you get in. But
Oh, yeah, we sometimes would go on it if the wait was 10 minutes or less, we'd go on it over and over and over again just to see what scene we get because I love all the different scene variations. I think it just keeps it fresh. It's fun to see. It's like what song you're going to get on Guardians, like what scene you're going to get on Star Tours. I mean, there's really no reason not to do it. So I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too because it's a fun ride, and like you said, Jody, I mean, the wait can be really minimal on that, which is there's not a whole lot of rides anymore that have a short wait, so that one can be pretty cool, and it has a giant AT-AT outside. It's just I love it. And I like Gene's idea too of trying to get that as part of Galaxy's Edge and somehow carve that all out in a different way. Yeah,
You just would have to move them up at some place. You can't get rid of them.
well, or
Muppets are in Star Wars, though.
Yeah. They did A Christmas Carol with the Muppets. They've done other things with the Muppets.
Jim
Treasure
Henson
Island.
made Yoda and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
Star Wars Muppets. Can you
Star
imagine
Wars?
how awesome
Star
that
Wars
would
Muppets. It's a very good fit.
be? And you've
Dark-
got Kermit
Dark
like in the
Piggy.
meme.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with that, man. I would love that. Kermit.
Oh. Yes. Okay. That was all there was for Hollywood Studios, right? So that's
that was actually it.
I was hoping to get more details about what's going to be happening with the Star Cruiser, the Star Wars Hotel, and
So was I.
Yeah, because that's one thing. Like they were really pushing that, and I think it's probably an awesome place, but the idea was just a little too much for the normal Disney fan, right, or family going down. So doing something cool with that hotel would be really, really neat, and I kind of want to see that.
I think they can't say anything because of the tax situation with that. They've got to be really careful about how they're going to play all that. So I don't think they're going to say anything about it for quite a while.
The what situation?
The tax situation, the way that they set it like as a loss, so they can't. From what I've read and understood, I could be completely wrong about this, but they're not allowed to do anything with it over X amount of years to take the loss on the whole entire project. I don't know. Jeff, you're an accountant. I'm sure you understand this stuff way more than I do, but
That's well beyond what I do.
yeah, something about
Well-
if they, the way that they wrote, if they say it's a loss and how they put it on the books, and if they touch it right now or if they let it sit, it's how they write it off. I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I mean, I think it's a Spirit Halloween store now. I mean, you can go in there and just buy whatever you want for Halloween.
I don't know. Neil Patrick Harris was there the other day with his husband, and they went on the Star Cruiser and then walking around Galaxy's Edge. So, you know, I mean, people are still cruising.
I wish I would have known.
Did he get out of? I mean, did he buy some Halloween stuff from there?
Maybe his own costume.
Oh,
Little Doogie Howser doctor suit.
But it's not uncommon for them to leave hotels abandoned virtually for a long time. I mean, look at the Art of Animation was just empty for years and years, just half constructed on the other side of Pop.
Mhm.
And then they finally did the Art of Animation expansion. So it could be something like that where it just sits, developed, but not.
Yeah, and it's
for a long time.
It's not something that's really in the way. I mean, where it's at and everything, you don't run into it just when you're going through parks or between parks or anything. So,
I think it'll be a great DVC property. I mean, if you think about it, it'll kind of remind you of the Grand Californian, where it's kind of, you know, it's attached to a park, right? So you can walk right in. So I think, I mean, they can do that, charge whatever they want for it, and just have it as a nice hotel. Or they can continue to sell Halloween decorations. It's up to them.
But it doesn't have a pool, and I think that's what everyone's going to throw a fit about because there's no pool in there right now.
it's in outer space, Jody.
I know. I just am
What are you
saying. I
gonna-
think that's why they're reluctant to make it a regular resort.
Where
I
people
can't tell
can't
you the
complain
last
though.
time- I can't tell you the last time I've been in a pool at the Disney World.
Really?
No.
I go
Yeah.
every trip, almost every day, every trip. But I also have, 5 little children that love
Yeah.
pools. So
Well, they can't complain because, you know, in space, no one can hear you scream.
that's true. Yeah.
It's very true.
It's hard for sound to travel in a vacuum like that,
Mm-hmm.
That's what I need to turn. Okay, side project. I need an Imagineer to come to my house and turn my house into a vacuum so I can't hear my kids tattling on each other and yelling at me about everything. Can we work that out somehow?
I
Kevin,
mean,
you're an
by the time
engineer. Can you figure this
they
out?
finish it, though, I mean, your kids will be like graduating from college. Disney Imagineering is slow, so
That's true.
They take
yeah.
their time for sure.
They'll blue sky it for 20 years.
This is what we're thinking
I'll
about, John. Listen
I'll have
to
my
us. This is what we're thinking
grandkids will
about.
be like 10 years old at that point.
Yeah.
All right. So going on to, I'm really excited about Epcot. There was some really awesome announcements, I think, for Epcot. The first one, Kevin, I think we all immediately thought of you.
Yes.
Figment started having meet and greets today on September 10th. And you're going in what, less than a month, right?
Yeah, right under a month. I hope that wait is not 5 hours like it was today. But
Or Kevin's rope dropping Figment.
I'm I'm definitely going to rope drop Figment. But the rest of the family, they can do whatever they want. But I'm going to Figment for sure.
Yeah. No,
And I'm bringing my little Figment character and my popcorn bucket from Jeff, and I'm going to take a picture with both of them.
Do you think he can autograph the popcorn bucket?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
those hands, though, it might be tough.
He can use his imagination to figure it out. Right?
There you go.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I don't know if anyone saw though, but the times were very specific today on what time he was meeting. It was like 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and then 2:20 till 4 something. Like it was very, and I could be a little wrong on those times, but it was a very, very specific timeline on when he was meeting. So I was like, oh, you better really know what you're getting in for and what time to get there. But if you rope drop it, Kevin, then, you just get up early, go straight to the Figment meet and greet rope drop.
It's worth
We
it.
call that the imagination hours.
And it's going to be in the pavilion, right? In the Imagination Pavilion. Is it going to be inside? Like the area you go after you get off the ride?
That's what I read, but I saw that the line to meet is outside and not shaded. That's the video that I saw today. So bring your umbrella to shade yourself because it looks like it's hot.
So it's a separate line.
Pardon me?
It's a separate line from the ride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's a line for the ride, and then the meet and greet is actually inside, but the line to get inside is rather long and outside.
I think
Yeah.
they can make people ride the ride in order
That's what I was going to say.
Because
Yeah,
there's,
but
I was about to correct Jody. I'm like, Jody, unfortunately, there is no line for the ride. You just kind of stroll on there.
No, and I don't want them to tie it to having to ride the ride to meet Figment, because I want to keep riding the ride over and over again with my kids, and then only wait
You
once.
got like if they took like 20 minutes off the wait time if you did ride the ride.
How about
maybe a
this?
separate
How about if
line.
you have a character meet and greet where Figment rides the ride with you?
Oh,
That could be
that
like
would be
a
Send me some money,
silent
Disney.
auction kind of thing, or a raffle.
Exactly.
VIP, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Send me some
am
money.
curious though how that whole traffic and congestion is going to work now with trying to get into the DVC lounge upstairs, because that's typically you get in like in that same area. So I'm wondering how that's all going to flow, because I just think this is going to be incredibly popular for quite some time, and I don't know how that whole area is going to be able to absorb all those people.
Because that's such a small little store, and it's not only
Mm-hmm.
small, but like, I mean, there's a lot in there too.
Yeah.
So
And to
yeah,
get that, like to check into the booth to try to go up the stairs, like it's kind of
Yeah.
awkward. There's really no place to really go. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You know that
At least
big
they're not
hall that they
blocking off
have.
where. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Lonnie.
I'm saying, you know that big hall that they have over on the other side? They should have put it in there, because there's like literally nothing in there. And
Yeah.
you know, and they could have did that, and everybody could have been in the air condition, and then they could, you know, Figment will probably be happy because he won't be bursting into flames out there. So from the heat, so it could have been in, you know, they could have been in there. So
yeah, and maybe they'll make adjustments too as they see how popular meeting Figment is a month, 3 months from now, type of thing. So hopefully they look at that and make some adjustments there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be incredibly popular for quite some time.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited. Springtime surprise weekend. I'm definitely going to meet Figment. It's gonna be amazing.
You'll finish the race, and instead of leaving the park, you'll just go start.
Go
you'll
right
go
back.
drop that line. You'll
line
just
for
be like,
Figment.
I'll
Get
just-
that medal. I'm just staying in the park.
Yeah, it's
Right.
gonna be amazing.
oh, what if Figment is a character stop during the race?
That would be
That'll
the
be-
biggest congestion of any.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
what
gonna
if-
add about 2 hours to my already long 10-mile time.
It'll be like me waiting for Maleficent. Just 40 minutes to just wait in line.
Well, it's still better than the
Park a
5 hour
bus
wait.
behind there. Just sweep people right there.
Strava's gonna be like, "Hey, buddy, you moving or what here? What's going on?" Oh man, but yeah, I'm excited about this. Another big change coming is Test Track is going to be reimagined. Now, this was another one where they didn't give a timeline on, but it says that the Imagineers are starting to work with like the GM team and the Chevy team. So I'm excited by that, because my employer is General Motors, and you know, we're doing a lot with electric vehicles and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of possibilities out there for this ride, because it is such a cool ride when you get going and you're up to 68 miles an hour. That's really fun. And if they can make the inside portion of that cool and even, you know, more informative, and try and give people more information about like EVs and how they're going to work and that type of thing, they could really, there's a lot of promise for this, I think.
Yeah, I hope so, because Lindsay and I always make a EV type of car, and we always get beat by the boys who come up with like some sports car, and I'm like, that's not fair. We're helping the environment, and they're killing the environment, and they always beat us on like all the little, you know, quiz things that you or tests that you go through. So I always get all sad.
Well, and maybe it could even talk your husband into selling his Tesla and getting a real car, like one of the EVs from GM.
Good luck with that.
Okay, I'm gonna work on this.
My excitement for that is they said they're going to do a throwback to World of Motion with that. So I'm not sure how they're going to tie the old World of Motion into there, but I'm excited to see what they're going to try to do with that.
Is that the ride that was there before Test Track? Okay.
Yes.
And anything with talking about, you know, alternative fuels and alternative technologies and engineering, I think that's something that they could really add to that and make it really cool, because, you know, beyond EVs, they could talk hydrogen, they could talk all these other, you know, means of fuel and things like that. So it's really cool to see the engineering side, and they don't have a lot of that at Epcot anymore. And I think there's a lot of opportunity right there. especially in automotive mechanical engineering. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, the edutainment's kind of gone by the wayside of Epcot more for the
right.
day drinking.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's okay. I'm not against it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning, and that's a fact.
Exactly.
That's true, but you might as well learn something too while you're
Yeah.
having your drinks around the world. Make a little stop and learn about how car companies are trying to save the world. Be kind of
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
But no, I think you can make it really fun too, though. Like Kevin, I think you've talked about a lot before, right? Like as a kid going to Epcot kind of spurred you into that mentality of wanting to be an engineer, right? And something like this could really get a lot of kids interested in STEM and engineering and automotive industry specifically. So I'm really excited about this.
Need more kids to get into that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And seeing it at Disney is really cool for those kids.
Yep.
I mean, I'm 41 years old and I think it's really cool. So I'm excited about it. They're also coming out with a new nighttime show. So Luminous, the Symphony of Us. Jeff, you do not look excited about this.
I love Epcot Forever. That is one of my favorite nighttime shows. I love the fact that they play all the old Epcot music. I love the old soundtrack loops for Epcot, the old attraction loops. Everybody else kind of rips on Epcot Forever. I love it. Riley loves it. Illuminations was fine, but I was really excited with the other. And just, I don't know. The last couple new firework nighttime shows haven't been the greatest. So I'll reserve judgment, but it's going to be hard to beat Epcot Forever for me.
So I'm excited I love nighttime shows. I liked Harmonious. I know a lot of people didn't, mostly because of the Stargate that was out there in the middle of the day and all the barges. But no, I'm really excited to see it. Like I'm hoping I can't remember if they put a timeline on this, but I'm hoping it's there by next time I go a springtime surprise weekend.
December 5th.
Oh, okay, perfect. So it'll be there for marathon weekend too for you guys heading down. So I think that's really cool. I don't know.
Not that any of us will stay up to be able to watch it, but for marathon weekend, we'll all be asleep.
Jody, you can sleep when you're dead. Like,
yeah,
you're only at Disney once, twice, maybe 3 times a year if you're Lonnie. I don't know, but you gotta take it in while you're there.
But Jeff, I agree with you. I like the throwback with Epcot Forever. I like the nods to the old shows and things that were available to it. I like that it's not so heavily IP'd that they're, it brings some of that old school feel. I think they're going to throw some IP in there, and I don't mind a little, but to me, Harmonious just felt like it belonged at Magic Kingdom. It was just
movie
so
soundtrack
full of IP that there was nothing Epcot-y about it, other than they would sing some songs in another language, which I did appreciate that part. But I hated the taco barges. I thought they were awful. But I hopefully they learn from their mistakes, and I'm shocked that it's coming out this year by December. I mean, I really am. I mean, I think they were going to drag their feet on this one. So the fact that we're getting this in 2023, right? That's not December next year. That's December this year, right?
Yeah, correct.
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like John, I actually enjoyed Harmonious as well. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but it's funny. So I went to Epcot with some coworkers who haven't gone in a long time, and we watched the show. And when the show was over, I asked them, "What do you guys think?" They said, "We loved it." So I guess as hardcore Disney fans, we're like, "Oh no, we like the old show. You like this and that." But if you have somebody like new that hasn't experienced it and hasn't been to Disney like us, or like John going, every 5th of the month, twice on a leap year, literally, I think Harmonious was really, really a good show. So I'm interested to see the new show and what they'll do. I think they do a great job with the fireworks and things like that. But I'm optimistic for this one.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from, because the newer casual Disney fans not going to understand the music from Epcot Forever as being from Journey into, or the Magic Journey, or World of Motion and all that. They're not going to understand Honey, I Shrunk the Kids music. But for the people who have been there and that listen to it, and that's what we grew up with when we were little, it kind of tugs at the heartstrings a little more.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's my thing too, is I like the IP being involved, because I got into Disney more from the movies when I was a kid, and even now watching it with my kids, and then we started going to Disney World. So I didn't see a lot of the stuff before, say, 2016, really. So for me, I love having the IP involved. I understand, like Epcot, right? You want it to be like we were talking about earlier, right? More educational and getting the imagination going and trying to get these kids to think how they're going to save the world. But I also just like being entertained. And I don't like, honestly, I've lost the ability to think deeply about stuff because, I'm in that stage of my life where all my kids are little and I want something that's going to keep their attention. We can sing along to and have fun and giggle. And that's what I like. So I don't know. I'm pretty pumped about this. I think it's going to be awesome.
So you want an entire Bluey fireworks show,
I mean,
right?
yeah.
Now look, they do that. I'm all in.
If there's a bandit meet and greet, I will stand in line for 12 hours for that.
Maybe they'll set up the Australian pavilion and do the bandit meet and greet.
Yes.
I would run over
There we
Figment to get to Bandit.
And then Unicorse will be there, and both
Muffin.
him and Bandit.
I want Muffin there because who doesn't like Muffin?
Right.
Muffin
I'm
is the
surprised
best
they
one.
haven't brought Bandit to the Disney Junior character breakfast at 50 primetime. I'm
Or-
shocked by that.
The dance party.
Yeah.
Because they do like the musical statues thing, right? Like they do on the intro.
That
And
was
then they have a
great
whole
dancing
episode about it.
there, John.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, this is
I
this
see
is
where
how I
Krusty
dance.
gets it.
Yeah. This is how I dance. I mean, very middle-aged dad dance moves.
It's great.
Although I had these same moves when I was 18, 20. So.
I mean, it works, so just keep going with it works, right?
Yeah, exactly. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Jeez. But no, that's what this D23 should have been all about, Bluey. And how they're going to integrate Bluey into the parks.
I love Bluey.
What if they just start calling us Bluey Sky ideas?
Instead of Blue Sky? I like where your head's at.
Right?
Yep. And then they give everything an Australian flavor. Like there's like a restaurant, throw another shrimp on the Barbie, and then they bring in Barbie too. Maybe they
then Outback sues them. Outback wants some of that Disney money. We're gonna sue you for that. That's
another corporate war.
Yeah, exactly.
Foster's on tap.
The what on tap? Foster's?
Yeah.
Well, because it is Australian for beer.
It is.
Yeah. Truth. I just hope they don't have all the large spiders. I can't go to Australia. There's too many things there that are going to try to kill you.
Well, everything wants to eat you.
Yeah. So no, I'm not doing it. The other thing that's coming to Epcot though is, well, not coming to Epcot. It's already there, but it's opening. The World Celebration neighborhood at Epcot will finally begin having guests in. I don't know that I'm that excited about it either, but at least that's less construction going on. So I honestly don't even know what's in the World Celebration neighborhood.
It's the down this wall. Right, it's the Moana walkthrough, but
that's there. Okay, that does look really cool. But I mean, yeah, I'm gonna walk through it and be like, that looks awesome. Get me to Guardians.
Or to Figment.
Well, yeah, clearly. But Figment though, you can go anytime because the line until the meet Figment. Yeah, that's true. Shoot, now I'll be torn. Where
Such hard decisions.
Gosh, they're really making it difficult for us.
I mean, they should add a lightning lane for that. I'm telling you, lightning lane for Figment, individual lightning lane.
They can make some bank.
I would pay $20.
We better stop saying this for Disney Imagineers. Like, did you hear what the Ducks just said?
Yeah,
$25 a person.
$25 a person to meet Figment, and people are going to pay it.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm paying $300 for just me and my kids to meet Figment for 2 minutes.
Better get the signature for that.
Oh my!
But it comes with a complimentary photo pass for that.
Oh well!
Ooh, yay!
One picture, yeah.
$300 photo.
But the Journey of Water is going to open in mid-October, so that's opening up on the 16th of October. So that's actually coming up pretty soon. But that's not as exciting because we already knew about that from last year. So
and they've been working on it for 20 years.
Forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do without the walls saying like test track that way and all those arrows.
You walk in, you're like, I don't know which way to go.
Right. So I'm just gonna stand there and overthink which direction I'm gonna walk. Oh boy. Okay. So that was it for Epcot.
Wait, but there's more, John. You forgot
wait.
one more thing about Epcot,
Go for
and
it.
that
Yeah.
is over at Soarin', when they're
Oh,
bringing
yeah.
back Soarin' over California.
For the Disney 100. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
They
So
are?
I am excited about that one as well. Will we get orange smell? Will we get the tree smell? I don't know, but I'm excited to get Soarin' over California.
And you got the little hidden Mickey on the golf ball that's going to be hit towards you.
Yeah.
Gotta watch for that.
Come on now.
Ooh.
I'm excited about that one. I
I do
am.
really like Soren.
Mhm. So I don't know if you're not going to see the Eiffel Tower lean
The Leaning
for a
Tower.
while, but
The
there you
Leaning
go.
Tower of the Eiffel Tower. So the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
It's like
Somebody
Gonzo's nose.
Somebody goes there and they look at Soren, and then they go to Paris and like, hold on, this thing is wrong. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
tilted.
Yeah.
The Taj Mahal. What's wrong? It's
Who
actually
broke the Eiffel Tower?
Who fixed this
How
thing?
is that?
Oh.
Oh boy.
When did they say that's happening?
October. That I don't know, Lonnie.
No, I don't know.
That is happening for a limited time, starting. It says this month. So Soarin' over California returns to Epcot this month.
Wow. And they didn't say how long?
No, it just said for a limited time.
Kevin and Lonnie, you two have quite a few things to go see when you're down there for your trips.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
you've got a long laundry list.
I'm gonna miss the Moana one by like 2 days.
But you're
But
gonna
are
have
you
to
gonna?
extend your
But are
trip.
you really gonna miss it?
Yeah.
Really?
Extend your trip, write it off as a business expense because we have this podcast here.
Yo, I like it.
Take one for the team,
Pays for
Kevin.
itself.
Take one for the team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. All right. Anything else for Epcot that we missed?
I don't think so.
Okay. Apparently we missed the announcement about a new pavilion being added because I didn't hear anything about that. Which I was really, really hoping we were gonna at some point here get something new in World Showcase, but besides the rides, but like an actual country. All right, going into Magic Kingdom. There's some fun stuff that they were talking about at Magic Kingdom. One of the things I'm looking forward to is the Pirates Lounge. I cannot wait for this. I'm so excited. Like I'm more excited than I really should be about a lounge that's themed like pirates.
I think you're the right amount of excitement, John.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are they going to have rum?
Oh yes.
So
I'm in. And I'm going to dress like a pirate. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to go there on September 19th, talk like a pirate day. I got to plan that.
and where exactly are they putting this lounge? Have they said?
Adventureland? I don't know where, but
It could easily go into Tortuga's Tavern or that Tortuga
It
place.
says to extend the experience. I don't know if you kind of go out into it or if it would be like the Three Caballeros, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, because don't they do that out in California on Pirates? They have the
restaurant.
the restaurant in there. I don't know how they could pull that off here, but it would be really cool if it was inside the ride.
All those rowdy people drinking their rum in the middle of the ride.
I got to work on my R's. R.
Arr, matey.
Should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because I like pirates a lot.
Wait,
Like
is there a lounge in Magic Kingdom yet? There's not a lounge there, right?
there's a what's it called? Club 33, but there's
I mean,
not
for
like
normal people
there's
who
there's not a for the lower class crowd. There's
Not like a dedicated lounge. There's restaurants that serve alcohol, but not like a dedicated lounge style.
right. But even that, I mean, Jungle Navigation does, but where else? I mean, they serve like wine at Beauty and the Beast, or
They have a full bar.
oh, did they?
Mhm.
I've never been there for dinner. I've only gone for breakfast. So I mean, I'm not opposed to ordering like a straight up bourbon at breakfast. I've done it before, but yeah, usually I just go with the mimosa or whatever they give you.
When did they say the Pirate Lounge is going to open?
They did not, I don't
They
believe.
didn't.
They didn't.
It's not a process.
Someday.
No, it sounds like it's a little bit more than just blue sky. Maybe there's
Right.
some clouds there too, and they're starting to form the atmosphere. I don't know, 100%.
There's a little bit of sand to help, get things
Yeah.
started.
There's getting
Right.
things moving. Yeah. Another thing was no real plans, nothing new that wasn't said. I think in the last D23, but talking about Beyond Big Thunder Mountain, right? So it seems like they're still planning to do something, but I mean, unless I missed it, there was no details about what that could be.
No, they said there's just a lot of area to expand back there.
Yeah. So
So
hopefully that means a new land.
Yeah, I think they're in the process of getting free estimates. Some companies get free estimates for stuff. So like I'm sitting at home and I was like, man, I wonder how much it costs to put an outlet right there. Let me get those on these free estimates, and they come over and say, oh, it's going to be this much, and you're like, oh, wait, I might not want that outlet. I'll let you know. And that's kind of what Disney's doing right now. So it's in they're taking estimates, and hopefully in about 4, 5, 6 years they'll come up and say, you know what, we got all our estimates, and we're about to put it in, and this is what we're doing.
And we'll have it ready by 2030.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
when my DVC contract it runs out, they'll have it ready.
There we go. One that also doesn't have a date, but seems like they have more plans in place. Country Bear Jamboree is getting updated. Never seen Country Bear Jamboree.
What?
No desire to see Country Bear Jamboree. It freaks my kids out, so I've just never gone in it.
Wait, how does it freak your kids out if you've never seen it?
Dude, like just seeing, like knowing what it is with the animatronics of the bears. I mean, we've seen it on like YouTube and stuff.
Well, he saw him on He bought him to Chuck E. Cheese, and Crosby didn't like Chuck E. Cheese, so why are you
it's
gonna
the same
go?
thing? It's like half broken and it moves like this. Some of the words in those songs, I don't need my kids to hear that. Like, I don't know. It's just not my thing.
It can be a little cringeworthy sometimes. I can see that, but I enjoy the Country Bears.
I've never been either, John. I'm with you. John and I have a lot in common on this episode. I've never I didn't have the time or the inclination to go run in there and see Country Bears.
Nope.
Now, if the bears start rapping, I might go in there for that, because who doesn't like a rapping bear?
Right. That would be amazing. Or like they said they're going to take some Disney songs and kind of add do them in like a Nashville style, and they're going to do it kind of like Grand Ole Opry and stuff like that. I'm excited about that. I mean, I love country music. I love Disney music. Hopefully putting the two together, and like Lonnie said, maybe you add some rap in there. I don't know. Maybe you get a West Coast, East Coast thing going. I'm not really sure, but I love me some 90s hip hop. So
that'd be awesome. Sign me up. I'll go to there for that.
So you got West Coast Wendell? Is that what we're going with here?
Sure. Is there an East Coast one?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, maybe a new character, room for a new character to come in. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm excited about it. I don't like the cheesy old animatronics like that. Like, I don't like Carousel of Progress either. It's just not my thing. I know Joe, if he's listening, is probably going to murder me for that comment.
Where's the button to mute him?
Right? How do you kick someone off?
Remove from stage. There we go. Let's continue this now better without John.
So, for the record, I do like Carousel of Progress. I do. So
I'm back. I don't like Jeff having this much power.
With great power comes great responsibility. There you go.
No, I don't know. It's not something that I would spend 15 minutes of my Disney time going to see.
But sometimes you just want a nap. And you just want to go in, listen to nice, calming music, and sit down in a dark room with air conditioning and sleep for 15, 20 minutes.
Again, back to my earlier comment, I can sleep when I'm dead. I'm at Disney to enjoy Disney, not fall asleep in random weird rides.
I hate country music, and I like that. I think it's a cute little show, so I'm excited what they're going to do for it. I'm going to give it a try. So we like it. We like going to Country Bears. So,
interesting. Okay.
I'm ready for the change, though. It's a good change, I'm sure.
I mean, I don't know when the last time that ride changed, but it probably hasn't been since I've been alive. So I don't know.
People trying to make it like the movie that came out like 15, 20 years ago, because that was real bad.
I never saw that.
I didn't know there was a movie.
It was bad.
I don't even take pictures with them when I see them outside walking around the park. I don't even want to do the character meet with the Country Bears.
You're mean, Lonnie.
No, I'm sorry. I just,
I think I did it during one of the half marathons that went through there, and they had one of the bears out, and I just wanted to stop for a minute, so I did. But other than that, no, that's not my thing. But something else that's really awesome, the Hatbox Ghost is coming to the Haunted Mansion in late November of this year, so that'll also be in time for everybody going down for marathon weekend. So that's pretty cool.
With much debate on where they're putting him.
Yeah, in the hallway.
Yeah, everybody's all been out of shape about this.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I guess I don't have an opinion. I just think it's cool.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
So because it's coming before you, Madame Leota, and so Madame Leota is supposed to be calling upon the ghost, and we're seeing that ghost before you see Madame Leota, and so that's why everyone's all upset.
Oh, it
But-
throws off the flow of the story and everything else,
Yeah.
right?
But in the movie, Madame Leota and the Hatbox really didn't get along, and he was just kind of there. So there might be something they can work with that.
Yeah.
My biggest problem is they always say that we have 999 happy haunts, but now they're bringing the Hatbox ghosts in. Are they full? Are they not taking?
Maybe they're getting rid of one.
Actually, they answered that. Gonzo came out on stage and answered that. So there are 999 happy haunts, but the Hatbox ghost is not happy. And he was one of the original ones, so he doesn't count in the number. So there's always room for one more.
All right, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Huh.
And speaking of Haunted Mansion, October 4th, it'll be streaming on Disney Plus. I don't know about you guys who've seen it. I really liked it. I thought it was
I did
great
too.
movie.
I
So
Man.
can't wait for that to
I
come out.
really want to see it.
I'm
I
really,
really want to see it.
that.
I was pleasantly surprised. I thought they'd ruin it again, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Lonnie and I were talking. We think they released it at the wrong time, and I feel very strongly about that. I think now fall time would have been a much better time to release it, and not up against Barbie and all that other chaos. So I think that they released the movie definitely during the wrong time, because who's ready to be like scary Halloweenish in July? I mean,
Because they
Yeah.
released in July, so that way they can drop it to Disney Plus in October.
yeah, but
Drive subscribers, but I thought it was more of like they wanted to get the cash influx before their end of year at the end of September, because their fiscal year restarts October 1st, right? So, but still, even then, you don't put it up against two of the biggest movies of the summer.
yeah.
So I don't know. It was odd timing.
I'm ready to watch it again though, because I feel like there were a lot of things that I didn't catch in the movie. So I'm definitely excited. And you guys know me. I barely watch one movie once, so to be able to watch it twice, that's saying a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited to see it. I think it was, but after I talked to you guys that saw it, it seemed like it was probably a little bit too much for my kids. So I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
go by myself. So I can't wait. I don't know. I'm pumped. October 4th, though, is what you said, Lonnie?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's coming up soon.
Yeah.
All right. That's really all they had for the parks then. I don't think, was there anything else we missed from Magic Kingdom?
Nope, I don't think so.
No, but I tell you, you speaking about Epcot, I've always thought, I was hoping that they would actually do something with the cars over there around Tron, like making those electric or something. Hoping for that kind of thing. But they just kind of let those little go-karts plow around the track. That smell, that noise, that eating up the ozone layer up there. But I was hoping they could do some, electric vehicles there. Would have been really cool for them to announce. But hey.
Yeah. That's the sole reason Florida's so hot. There's a giant hole in the ozone layer right above Tomorrowland Speedway.
Right above the Speedway. Just, every day we add to that hole.
Yeah, but no, Lonnie, that's a good point though. Like, one of the things I was thinking as we were talking is, what is there that you really wanted to hear announced that just had nothing? And Lonnie, you just mentioned Tomorrowland Speedway. I think that's a really good one, because that ride needs an update.
This wasn't really like a full D23 weekend event. This was like their semi every other year destination one. So I think for what we got out of this, I'm pleasantly surprised, especially since nothing was really mentioned for Disney World last time, like Lonnie said.
Yeah. Last year it was like, and there's that place in Florida.
Right.
That was the end of it. There was nothing else.
The one thing I really wanted to hear more of was details about the new DVC. So at Fort Wilderness and at the Polynesian, right? Because we know they're building those, but all we've seen is artist renderings. I wish there would have been more details given about those two sites. And I know they don't do a ton of DVC stuff, right, at these things, but still, it would have been nice to get an update on that, because that is something that, it wouldn't be earth shattering or anything, but it would be something really cool to see. I know we're not going to get an announcement about Fifth Gates or another pavilion in the World Showcase, but
No, they're going to wait till Universal builds yet another park, and then they're going to be like, oh, maybe we should catch up to them and do something. It's going to be another 5-10 years before they announce anything.
Yeah. Well, you figure it's going to take a couple of years to build too. So even if they announce it now, we're not seeing it till 25 or 26
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's a big
Mhm.
undertaking.
Yep.
Hmm. All right. Any
Need
other
to get some-
thoughts on? Oh, go ahead, Lonnie.
I also need to get some estimates.
Yeah.
Hopefully they have those guys walking around that come up to your door with the with the little cards and leave it for you, and tell your kids, oh, is your dad home or your mom home? Oh, can you give this to him? It's like, yeah.
So we doing this with a neighbor, and they thought
Yeah.
you would be interested in it as well. So Universal told us that they're building another gate, so we thought you might be interested as well, Disney. So here you go, take our card.
That's a good point. Yeah, we're doing your neighbor's house over 2 blocks that way.
Mhm.
No, you're not. All right. Well, if anybody else have any other thoughts though on any of the stuff we talked about, announcements, anything like that? Okay.
Nope, I think we're good.
I think
Well-
we joked, but we are excited about it. I mean, I hope it didn't come across like we were complaining. We're just having fun.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what we
I'm
do. Yeah.
excited.
So anytime
Well, I think
there's a change in the park, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff, I think. And it'll be fun to see. I mean, it's nothing, like we said, there's nothing major. Or it's not, major things that we didn't know about, but it's some cool details coming out. It's some new shows, stuff like that. So I don't know, it keeps it fresh. And honestly, it makes me want to go back. Where my family's been scaling back our Disney trips, and now in this kind of makes me want to go more again. So
Yeah.
it's achieving what they want.
That's what they want.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, I think we should move into our favorite segment of the show, which is quacking up with the ducks.
Sounds good.
All right, Jeff, you got to kick us off here.
All right. So I live in a fairly quiet neighborhood, kind of rural town here, and not much really happens. But last night, apparently, there was a lot of ruckus going on over the course of the night. About 7:30, 8 o'clock, the police showed up at my door. He said, "Can you tell me where you were from like 3 to 5?" I said, "Preschool."
Boy, oh boy. Jody, you think you can follow that guy up?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
So, college football started, NFL football started. So the boys have figured out how to put 2 different screens on the TV at a time. So there's just lots of sports going on in my family room right now. So maybe think a little bit. What did the receiver say to the football? Catch you later.
Unless you play for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yikes.
Yeah.
We just lost
Because
our
Mahomes was under a lot of pressure because the offensive or the defensive line from the Detroit Lions was playing pretty good.
Well, even still, the right side of the line moving early every play.
Yeah, I was gonna say even with the illegal formation that they had the entire game, but that's beside the point. You got to see the Super Bowl champs play. Yeah. Okay. That's not my joke. That's serious.
Could be. We'll see in January.
No, that's serious. The Lions are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
So John just told his joke. We can move on.
They've let me down for 41 straight seasons. Why not? Why not keep that streak alive? Kevin, what do you got for us tonight?
So mine comes from my kids. They told me this one. They've got a little joke book and they tell me jokes on the way to school. Said, "Did you hear about the king who is exactly 12 inches tall? He was a great ruler."
That's a good one.
I like it. Oh, Lonnie, that's a tough one. That's a tough act to follow.
It is, and unfortunately I don't have a joke, but I will tell you this: I did have a bad situation that happened last week. I was messing around on the wrong side of town. Don't ask what I was doing, but I got robbed by 6 dwarves. Not happy.
Not happy.
That's a good one.
Oh boy. Okay. Well,
It's one of those jokes. It'll come. Y'all will get it.
I got it.
I got it.
I'm talking to the listeners. I know you guys got it, but the listeners might not got it.
Oh man. Well, like Jody said, it is football season, right? So why was the coach yelling at the vending machine? He wanted his quarterback.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good
All
one.
right. Well, yeah. Hopefully you guys giggled a lot, and you got some good information about what's coming to the Disney parks over the next few years, and possibly, you know, into the next few decades. We don't know, when some of these things don't have timelines. But we had a lot of fun talking about it. And again, we mentioned at the beginning of the show, but if you could go and give us a review, it really helps us out, and it'll help other people find us. So it'll help the algorithms, and let more people find us and bring more folks into our Facebook community, which is Disney with the Ducks. And you can go there, post pictures of your trips, ask questions about planning or about movies or anything you want, Disney related. So come over there and engage with the community. We've got a really good group of folks that that'll help answer questions and everything. So with that, there's really nothing left to say other than Kwaherini.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, friends.
Yeah.